throughout the weekend. And today we're going to have a conversation here with another person you have met also throughout the weekend. And his name is Francois. Before we get going, I just want to mention that this is recorded as well as live streamed, so you all know that. All right, Ryan, how are you?
I'm okay, except for I heard the word smash.
Smash.
Yeah.
Smash Club.
Smash Club, okay. I'm ready.
You won't be smashing anything, I hope. Did you have a good weekend so far?
I have. It's been a whirlwind where I've seen so many people who have taken every single moment and grabbed it. And it's rare that I get to see that. I feel like every time you walk into a room, everyone is ready to just purely enjoy themselves. And then they get it. And they keep going. And the time has been flying, so it's been great.
Nice. This is your first time here at Jumpin at Istanbul?
Yes,
right?
Yeah? It is.
Do you have any special memory from the weekend?
Special memories.
That stuck harder than the other memories?
Any memory that... Oh, special memories. That's...
It can just be a memory, though. You don't have to be special. It's a good memory.
Actually, my good memory was last night. It wasn't... The Last Supper. I am not going to talk about the Last Supper. I'm not doing that at all. Yeah. I know, that's like whatever is in Fight Club stays in Fight Club. No, I'm not going with the Last Supper at all. No. Actually, it was last night, the show. And it wasn't about being in the show or doing the show. It was what the show did. You know, there's very few times, like in a performer's life, where you feel the kind of like the symbiosis between the performer and the audience links together, and so that one elevates the other and then re-elevates back and then continues to elevate. And last night I felt that that's what happened. And by the time we got to the end of the show, it wasn't like there was performers who just did something, audience responded. I felt like it built an energy to the entire room that just carried on to the rest of the evening. So people were partying and enjoying themselves. And it's rare to have that sensation that a performance had the quality of healing, that we were healing each other. And so that's my highlight. I felt healed last night.
I would say that's a special memory, actually.
Yeah.
Really, I agree with you. It was a very special show.
Yeah.
And you talked a little bit about the performance life and everything like this, and you had a long life as a performer, choreographer, and I would like to hear how it all began. When did you start dancing, and how did it happen?
Well, I never intended to be a dancer. I mean, some people, they have that in their heads. They're like, I want to do this. I want to be a dancer. The last thing on the planet that occurred to me was to dance. I was not a dancing kid. I was a singer, but dancing never occurred to me. And so I started dancing at 18. The dance that I started with was the Lindy Hop. This was in, I was 17 turning 18, but this was in 1983. So I've been Lindy hopping for 43 years, something like that. It's 26 now. Some people wondering at my age, I know it, all right? A lot of you already know my age, yeah. So
if you know math, you can do the math.
You can do the math. So I turned 60 in March. And yeah. I'm hanging in there for the 60-year-olds. Actually, I depress them. They want to sort of hurt me. They're like, why'd you look like that? Showing us up. But it's, what I like about it is this year is the year of the horse. And I was born in the year of the fire horse, so this is like a year. But this is also the year of you know, it's the year of the Savoy Ballroom opening, and it's its 100th year. So I love that. Like, I'm 60, the Savoy is 100. I'm working on that. But when I was 18 and I was not into the dance came to me. Um, Lindy Hop in the UK started in my school. And therefore, in some ways, that's the nucleus at the beginning. And what I didn't see was dancing, is what I saw was the people. See, I grew up as a young black East End kid whose parents came from the Caribbean. I was born in a country that had no understanding of black people, therefore they chose hate over love and understanding. My parents were part of what we call the Windrush era of like Caribbeans brought to Britain to convince them to actually, seek either better lives or better jobs, but it was really to serve the Industrial Revolution and have them do all the rubbish stuff like cleaning the offices and, bus drivers and floor cleaners and all that stuff. So I grew up like super poor. I mean, like the kind of poor that like, if my mother would have days where she'd explain that this was our meal for the week was this can of beans, and we would make it last for that week, So I grew up like super poor and used to hatred and so on, but I grew up ignorant of the achievements of black people. So I'm 18. I've never known that black people did stuff like what I would call jive, jitterbug. I understood it from GIs, rock and roll. I would have images of Bill Haley, Elvis Presley, but I had zero images of people who looked like me. And I was looking for something that would allow me to feel like my history was not just that one day of history that I got in school, where I was told my ancestry was slavery. That's it. So a poster went up into my school after-school activities. I was a judo champion. And what was to become the Jive and Lindy Hoppers, the guy who became its manager, because it wasn't the Jive and Lindy Hoppers at that point, longer story, put up a poster that said, learn to Lindy Hop, 30s dancing with judo throws. Because they wanted to get us young, healthy. And their thing was, if we got a bunch of healthy black kids to try and work out this dance, they would probably be the right material. So they just wanted our athleticism. And made a promise that if you came into the class, you could dance with some of the best looking girls in the school that you couldn't get near any other way. And I'm like, oh, I can dance with those girls. I'm 18 years old. You don't get near those people. And I could put my arm around the waist, so I was in, Take a class, not understanding what this stuff was. It wasn't as good as Michael Jackson at that time. And didn't get what I was doing. Didn't know jazz music, didn't know that was jazz music and that black people played it. I was brought up on Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, until they decided to show us a VHS video of A Day at the Races. And here I'm watching this Marx Brothers clip, meaning nothing to me. And the dancers start dancing. Now, to someone who's never been initiated into seeing black art, my brain had converted them to white people because they were doing that jitterbug thing. And I was like, oh, okay, they're showing us a jitterbug clip. And as it's going on, I'm realizing, wait a minute, they're doing that a lot better. And they're black. And two things happen. One, the cultural exchange that was going on looked like a party at my parents' house. So those people acted like something I understood. And secondly, they were dancing better than all the stuff I've seen before. And it sparked in me the why. Why don't I know about that? And why don't we all, as black people, know about that? Because I was only taught we were slaves. They didn't tell us we did anything better. So I used this dancing thing to teach me more about what black people had achieved. So my beginning goal wasn't dance at all. It was, this is going to teach me something about who we are. And so I used the dance to teach me more about what black people have done and why don't I already know about it. And so that started me on my dance journey. Very long way to go around, sorry.
Nice to hear. Yeah. Yes, applause. Applause. And I would say that you succeeded because you've been traveling the world, teaching people about this culture. And I'm curious to know when you started to become a choreographer. You went from a dancer to starting to make big productions. How did that transition?
Well, like I said, I didn't have money. I actually didn't have anything. But like, you sort of then brought up to understand that you have to sort of like win. Whatever you choose to do, you just have to do it better than everybody else. And so I started dancing in 6 months. We created this thing that became known as the Jiving Lindy Hoppers. We used to be called the Lindy Hop Jivers, actually. By the next year, I was in New York City meeting Frankie Manning and Norma Miller and working with Pepsi Bethel. So I'd been dancing a year at this point. Year 2, I was touring with the London Festival Ballet and was already in shows, and we were doing like 100 shows a year plus. And I just found that dancing was just the thing that I can do. In that second year, I became a tap dancer. Taught myself to tap, really out of fear. You know, we'd met Norma the year before, and Norma, she looked at me and she said, "You're Lindy Hopper?" And I said, "Yes." And then she laughed. She said, "You're not a Lindy Hopper." Yeah, you're not a Lindy Hopper. So she said, "What else do you do?" And I'm like, "I don't do anything else." She said, "You want to work in this business?" She said, you got to learn to do other things. So she said, "Do you tap?" And I was like, "No, I don't tap." She said, "Learn to tap." So I'm like, I went, learn to tap, you know. Someone like Norma presented to someone from my background. She looks like an aunt, a grandmother. And you were taught to do as you're told, listen to what they say, keep your mouth shut and your head down, and say "Miss, Sir" as much as possible. So when she said learn to tap, I had to go learn to tap. But no one understood what we were doing. What is this thing called Lindy Hop? So there was no industry for what we were performing. And there was no outlet to allow us to do this thing that we were into. I just had some ability, because I started teaching in my first year. Actually, some people who are still teachers now, they were learning from me, not knowing that I only started dancing like 6 months before. You know, Ron Leslie and all these people, they didn't realize their teacher just started. I knew that in order to show that which I wanted to show I had to do it myself. So it was an obvious transition. I just need to choreograph. So I started my own company. I was 21, called Zeus and Spangles. I'd been dancing myself for 3 years by this point, and I just made it up, and have been making it up ever since. You know.
Well, you do a very good job making
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
Okay, so then we have a little bit of your history and background.
Mm.
I've been asked to play some games with you.
Oh.
Will you be up for that?
I still remember the word smash there. Okay, right.
So you better say yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
So we don't smash anything here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so we have prepared a little game, and I need some help from the people here in the audience. Just gonna bring up the paper. Yes. So we need some glasses with some stuff inside that you don't want to drink.
No.
And
No.
it's not going to be any alcohol, but it's going to be other disgusting things. And if you're drinking this, it means that you lost.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. All right.
So you better win. And
Yeah.
I believe that you are probably better at me than this, and I will compete against you, so I will probably be the one drinking. Yeah.
All right. We'll see.
So I'm going to ask some of you to hum a song with your mouth closed. And then we're gonna guess what song it is you're humming. Yeah, so please, for my sake, keep it quite simple. Yeah.
Maybe one of the microphones maybe is it? You can share maybe Ryan's. No, I can.
What?
But for the others.
Yeah, for the. Yes, yeah, we need a microphone. Maybe I can get the person who will hum up here to come up to us. So I need my first volunteer. Yes? Welcome. All right. So I guess when we know the tune being hummed, oh, here it comes.
They actually look appealing. Yeah, they don't look so bad.
You can just let me win and you can have all.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So you understand the rules?
I think so.
Yes. Just say the song when you know it.
As soon as you know it.
Says it first.
Yeah. Whoever
Okay.
says it first.
Shiny stockings!
Oh, okay, you good. Wow. All right. You know what jumped into my head? Frankie Manning first, and then Shiny Stockings, you know. Okay, I'll go be faster.
All right.
Do
you
I
don't
have
have to drink it all, but
Oh, I have to just
yes. Take a
sip.
Everything you do.
It almost looks like vodka.
Not like it, no.
Don't. Oh. Okay, all right.
What does it smell like?
I'm not even sharing that. Okay, I'm there.
Yeah. What was it?
It's like pure salt.
Okay. You have some water here to wash it down with. All right.
Very nice.
Now you have motivation
I do.
to get the next song quicker. We need another volunteer to come and hum. Anyone? Yes, Sarah, come.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, Opus 1.
Opus 1.
No, you do.
Oh,
No, I
thank you.
All right. Well, I will take this.
You're going to go for the red. You're going for the red, right? She's going for the red.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, you drank a lot of that.
I see. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, yes.
oh. Chris?
Okay, that was actually quite tasty. Next one, Chris. Come
All
on
right.
here.
Inside.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Smooth sailing.
Yeah. Sorry. That's one of those ones where you know the song, but you start to play the song through your head and you're, okay, that's smooth sailing.
Well,
Good for you. All right. I think I dodged the bullet and not taking the red one. That's what I think.
Yeah, it was tasting a lot.
Something looks like it died in here. I'm just saying. If you look into it, it's like that's definitely embryo in there. It's like, yeah. I'm sorry. Like, look, chickens also got embryos, so don't get too sensitive. And you eat your eggs in the morning. Don't lie.
I'm alright, I believe in you. Woo! Now you will never forget sweet saying again. What was it?
It's like it's lemon. It's lemony. Just say it's lemony.
Okay, that's awesome.
Very lemony. It wasn't so bad. You're being kind.
Yeah. Well, now we're out of shots here, so I will move on to the next game.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Next
thank
game.
you for everyone participating from the audience.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so for your upcoming birthday when you turn 60,
Yes.
imagine you get a present that you will skydive tandem style with a person. This
Okay.
person has to be someone you trust, I guess, and someone who you prepare to share this experience with.
Skydiving.
Yes,
Okay.
skydiving with a person. And I would like to know, who would you pick as your partner between Zacharias or Daniel Larsson?
That's an easy answer. And it's not Daniel.
So Zacharias then.
Oh, yes. Daniel, bless you. You're safe, you know, and you worry about stuff. Zaki, he's far more like you know, commando.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would hold on to Zaki, man.
He would say yes, it's
Yeah.
an adventure secret.
Of course, I'd also pick him because it would be easier to convince him for me not to get on the plane in the first place. Because if you can get me on a plane and ask me to jump out, then that's a talent, because I don't like heights. So no.
It's a shame Norman Miller can't tell you to jump, because then you would do it, right? Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, if you have to choose between Zacharias or Mo,
Oh, for the jumping out,
Yeah, for the
same
jumping out.
same
Same
scenario. It's still Zacharias.
Zacharias or Chris Lee?
Oh, that's tough. It might be Chris in this department.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Now we have a
because
new contender.
then I would have a good landing zone. I just fall on top of Chris at the bottom.
Chris Lee or Malik?
Chris or Malik? Well, I do like the landing zone idea, but Malik, I get the feeling that like he would, he would talk to me all the way down. So I would forget that I was, falling in the first place, because he just talked to me, and
So Malik.
So I think I would go for Malik, for sure.
Then Malik or Dennis?
That's a difficult one right there. I still think Malik would talk more.
Malik or Nirvana?
Oh, well, she's cute. So at least, when she was either talking to me or not, we would be having a fun time, just, observing and appreciating. So yeah, I think so. Plus, I think she would land better. I get a feeling that she would get near the bottom. She would do like a triple somersault, half twist, and end in an arabesque kind of like position. And I'd want to film it as was happening, Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
So we have a new contender.
Yeah.
Nirvana or Chester Whitmore?
Chester? Unfortunately, Nirvana again. We'd be competing like in the air, I think. Yeah, it would end badly because, I would try and do something that I really shouldn't do, and then Chester will do something that he shouldn't do, but he would achieve it and I wouldn't, and so So I have to eliminate him before the chance even arrives. So yeah.
Nirvana or Norma Miller?
Norma, Norma would probably take my parachute away. so,
Nirvana.
well, Norma would she'd be like, Ryan, get out the plane. Then she'd watch me jump. Say bye. I don't think she would jump to save me. I was thinking she'd be like, I told you to stay in the plane. I could see her doing that. So she's not in that list still.
So Nirvana is going strong.
So far.
Nirvana or Frankie Manning?
Well, that's a different thing. It would have to be Frankie. Frankie, a small story, okay? We used to do like a jazz festival in Oslo once a year, and they would take us out. They have the dock there, so you would get in the boat and they'd take us around and come back. So one year I did that with Frankie and Chaz and Freddie's like mother, so she's an older lady, and we all went out in this boat on the dock, and we came back to another dock. Got off the boat sailed off into the distance, and we went to leave and found that there was this big fence, like this 7-foot fence at this dock, so we couldn't get out. And there was just the fence and the dock and water. So we were stuck. And so we're starting to panic a little bit. And Frankie, he sees this, what do you call it, gangplank? The thing that you put between the boats and the shore so that you can walk onto it. Frankie saw one of these things, pulled it, and then proceeded to push it up and put it onto the top of this fence. Now, Frankie is like in his 80s at this point, and before we could even help him, he had dragged this thing, pretty heavy, put it up there, and then he shimmied up it, put his hand over the side of it, threw his legs over the top and bounced, and he was on the other side. I'm like, Frankie, man, you were gangster in your day. You've been jumping fences for a while in your life, the way you did that. And then he climbed back up, sat on the top, and invited everyone to just climb up this gangplank, and he dropped you over the other side. Now, if an 80-year-old man can do that, I'm going to have him jump out the airplane with me,
Yes. Okay, so Frankie Manning is up.
Frankie, safe hands.
Then I would like to ask you to choose between Frankie Manning or Dawn Hampton.
Oh,
Skydiving partner.
Dawn. Only reason she would be saying this all the way down. Spoo. Spoo. And spoo is oops backwards. And I always had some fun laughing times with Dawn. And she, we were on the set of a movie called Malcolm X. And I came in late to that movie because they'd already been in rehearsals for a month. And I called Frankie. I said, hey, Frankie, I'm in town. We would hang out. And normally he would try to convince me again to eat pastrami, which was his favorite thing. And he was always disappointed because I couldn't stand that stuff, But he tried to get me onto it. So we would hang out. So I said to Frankie, hey, I'm in town, what are you up to? He said, I'm a little busy, I'm making this movie. Oh, what's the movie? Oh, it's called Malcolm X, and blah, blah. And he thought for a second, he was like, maybe you should be in it. And I'm like, yeah. So Frankie went to the producers and said, I know a kid from the UK, he would be good in the movie. And of course, they're like, Frankie Manning just recommended, we're going to let him in, right? So I get to the movie, and I get to the rehearsals, and they'd been there for a while, and there was Dawn sitting in the middle of all these dancers, and she's got a black leather hat. She's got full-on leather shirt. She's got leather pants, leather shoe. I mean, she's just like leather queen, like all the same. And she's sitting there like, and she's saying this, spoo, spoo. And I'm like, Dawn, what does that mean? She said, it's oops backwards. What she saw in front of her was all these kind of Broadway dancers, show dancers who were trying to Lindy Hop, and they really didn't have a reference, so they believed that they were good. And they were observing this, in their minds, old lady, and they couldn't respect to see that like this was a person with value, so they passed over her. And so she didn't push herself, she just sat there, watched them doing their thing. And when I came in, she was like, good, now we can show them what Lindy Hop looks like, you know. So, spoo. Dawn, we'd be laughing about it.
Nice. Dawn Hampton or Pepsi?
Oh, let's see what. That's like tugging two sides of the heart. It might be Pepsi because some people think that, and they've tried to ordain me that way, son of Frankie. I mean, Frankie named me his third son, you know, and that's the way he thought of me, like, so, you know, he called me his third son. But Pepsi was a shy person, but Frankie taught me what it is to be a Lindy Hopper. Pepsi taught me what the context of that meant, because he taught me what it was to be a jazz dancer. And Lindy Hop is like, it's a category of jazz, like a wider framework. If I'm a Lindy Hopper, yes, I'm a Lindy Hopper, but a jazz dancer is embracing the whole journey of jazz. And so I've always seen Pepsi as my true educator. Pepsi taught me the things that are not just in the partnering by helping me to understand it. The vernacular, the cakewalks, the soft shoes, the minstrel, African stomps, what he called blues, snake hips. Even my first Charleston Big Apple I learned from Pepsi. And Pepsi was just warm and giving in a way that, like, I see him as my mentor. So you're asking me to choose between my mentor and my friend. I would take them both. How does that work?
I'm sure you can jump out of a plane with two people.
Yeah.
People in the same.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to choose.
And then I'd land on Chris.
Good. So we have a final answer then. Pepsi, Dawn, landing on Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
good.
seems good to me.
We have talked now about some dancers that has influenced your life.
Yeah.
Would you say, in what way have they influenced you to become the dancer that you are today? You talked a little bit about Pepsi and showing you what it means to be a jazz dancer, but
Yeah.
if you think more about your dance style or the way of moving, have they taught you these specific things, or has it been more philosophical that you were into before?
All of those. I mean, in the end, like, what I liked about the original dancers that I met, they weren't teaching me about dance. They were teaching me the person that I am. They were teaching you to be a person. Dance is part of how they projected who they were. And so they taught you to understand that, like, there is no dance until you find the central part of what you bring to that. Pepsi posed me a puzzle that was correct for my age. He said, so you're a Lindy Hopper? And I'm like, yes. And then he says, do you know the African stomp? And I'm like, no. But you're a Lindy Hopper. And I'm like, yes. He said, well, at the time, these things were not so known. Do you know how to do a soft shoe? No. But you're a Lindy Hopper. Yeah, and he, you know, he went through snake hips, Charleston, you name it. And each time there was a note. And then he said to me, if Lindy Hop is the culmination, and that's the definition, of all the jazz dances put into one dance. If you don't know all the jazz dances, how are you a Lindy Hopper? You know? And so I didn't start a journey by seeing Lindy Hop as partner dancing. I saw it as the culmination of jazz dance put into one place. And that's why they were so proud of it. It doesn't just ask for you to be a partner dancer, it asks you to understand the journey of jazz. And for me, Pepsi gave me that thought. This is the journey, this is how it starts, and this is where you're going. What Frankie and Norma and George Lloyd and Mama Lou Parks and all Norma Miller and all the people that I met in that time or worked with, their thing was the craft of this thing called the Lindy Hop. And it was always about the kind of like understanding of what these steps are, what they're called, if they had names for them. But all of them were always to a man, not about the quality, the shape, the idea. It was always about how they felt and how you projected those feelings. So they always were encouraged to dance you, not dance them, but to give it the right feeling. And that's what I would say that I got from that source. And vocabulary is something that was attained when they remembered it. Sometimes they were jogged by something you did or something they remembered, and they suddenly remember a step. Oh yeah, we used to do this, and it was called that. But I did feel lucky because I see now there is a collecting of steps and movements, as if this is the most important part of what it is to absorb and be these things. And there's far less of a journey of self-exploration. You know, I want people to literally to go into a room and just dance and see what they would do with the sound of jazz and learn who they are before they start trying to become what other people have done. And that maybe was the benefit for me, at least in my journey. Before I really locked onto them, I decided to actually move myself from that source to see what I would do with the same material. And I could then learn from them by knowing myself. It was a different journey, you know.
Do you feel like people in the swing scene today are struggling with this, or do you see that it's happening, the thing you're talking about now?
I think they're looking for things, but every era is looking for something because they want to be better, they want to enjoy it. And I think that, like, you know, like our generation, you go and you search for those who might have answers for you, you know, and I was lucky. I was in a time where these people were alive, not just Lindy Hoppers, tap dancers, singers, musicians. It was like always a melting pot. And you're asking those questions, and you just need someone to say it's a journey of self. Have the confidence to believe that whatever works for you is you, therefore it's correct. And that when you go out, do ask those questions. Find out as much as you can about the thing that you do, and it will feed back to you. And sometimes I want the generations now to look harder and not to just go with the surface layer of what you just heard. Find out whether that feels like a truth that works for you, and know that the work that you put in is literally the reward that you get out of it. And no, they're on a good path. They're asking questions. People are sitting down wanting to listen to things. But I just have that warning of, like, don't become groups of non-individuals. Art forms are not trying to cohese to oneness. They actually are usually looking at what you don't see, and that's the individual. The more non-sameness I see, the more I feel that the dance is healthy, if that makes any sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense. And we're very happy that you're here now because it's a lot about passing on. You met these people, now you're trying to tell other people what you learned from them. I think it's very nice that it's be able to pass on, even though these people are not around anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are. They are. They're around. They're in everything that we do. So,
That's very
you
true.
know.
I would like to go through a little list here, and I would like to say yay or nay
Yay or nay?
of the statements that I say.
All right.
Yeah?
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready for yay or nay.
First statement.
Yeah.
Fast songs are harder to dance to than slow songs. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, nay. Yeah. Slow songs means you have to dance. Fast songs lets you hide. So, nay.
Okay. Yes, true. Okay, second one. Improvisation beats choreography.
Oh, that's tough. Oh, wow.
Yay or nay?
That's a preference, I think. I'd say nay.
Nay.
Nay. No.
No?
No. An idea that's realized and then put out there creates the pleasure that actually brings us to the room that wants to improvise in the first place. So it's like a double header because choreography is for everyone. Improvisation is often for you, you know. So.
Third one. Competitions are important.
Oh, that's evil. Okay. I would say yay. They're not ultimately important, but I'd say yay. Yeah, because it does drive you to go past the point that you thought you would go. So yay.
You can spot a good dancer after only 1 8 count.
I can. Yay.
All right. At a certain point, it makes sense to stop taking classes.
Yay, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to elaborate?
Oh, it's okay. You can go in many cultures. The teacher's journey, let's say the shifu, the master, the guru, is to prepare you to take your first step. They give you the language, they give you the techniques, and they build you towards leaving them. And when you've left them, that's when your journey is starting. That's not when it ended. So a good teacher's job is to prepare you to leave them, not to stay forever, because that's when you start to grow. That's when your journey starts. It's not when your journey is ended.
Yeah.
So absolutely, you shouldn't be in education all the time.
Yeah. Aerials are overrated.
Never.
That's a strong name.
Yeah, that's a strong nay. You know, aerials, when they become overrated, there's another word for that. It just means that you can't do them. Yeah, that was a burn, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. It's overrated. You know, I'm bored with that. Yeah, that's because you can't do them, you know. Dance forms, art forms, they have signatures. They have things that make them identifiable. I don't think we have a right to get bored of them and therefore to subvert them. An identity signature of Lindy Hop is air steps. It's what it is. You want something else, then do something else. It's part of its identity, you know. I don't get in the way of those things. And it's part of a whole list of things that leads to allow you to see all the colors of the rainbow. And it's a spectacular one that I think drives you to yet another level. So absolutely keep it.
Okay, good. I agree. Talent matters more than hard work.
Talent without hard work means is talent wasted. Hard work with no talent will not beat talent. So, nay, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Social dance is dying.
How many people in this room? Nay.
No.
No.
Studying old clips makes you a better dancer.
Studying old clips is beneficial, so I'll say nay. Whether it makes you a better dancer, it depends on the observer. There are no secrets in a film clip that are not better expressed by a human being. They have benefits. The idea that they make you better really depends on your attitude towards the work. They make you see certain illusions that don't necessarily explain the things that you can't see. A camera is looking at you like this. It's not looking at you like this and like this and like this at the same time. So you might think that you're absorbing all the stories, but in the camera you're also not feeling what's going on. So it offers the visual effect, but not maybe the internal effect. So it will maybe improve your visual, but it won't improve your soul. And so, kind of nay.
Last statement. Competitions damage the swing scene.
Damage is a big word. An obsession with competition in sacrifice of everything else is damaging. So I would say yay and nay. That's a hard one. Because we have that environment and it's experimenting with itself, and when we experiment we overdo because we're feeling our way through. I believe it will settle down at a certain point where it will find its place to fit in and coexist with the other energies, the social energies and whatever, so it doesn't repeal or repel, because that's what I think you mean when you're talking about damage, that you lose when you gain. You've gained people hungry for competition and its energy, and often that encourages youth, which means continuity to future, because the young will keep it up. But then you also repel non-youth who might just want to dance. And I think that we're in a stage where competition is experimenting and helping growth, whilst maybe repelling age, and that eventually it will settle down, be confident in itself and able to coexist in the same space, so that we don't lose the people who were the young people who came before you. It's a tough thing being young. We see all the joy, but we don't see the journey. So we forget that the people who came before you were young like you when we were doing the same stuff. And that like when we become older, it doesn't mean that like our youthful minds have disappeared. It's just our physical bodies have. And so we won't be in danger of damaging when we are better at coexisting. So I'm all for competitions, but I'm all for non-competitions too, that bring all kinds of people back to the dancing.
Speaking of competitions, usually there's a lot of trends going around in competitions, and trends have been around in the Lido community for a very long time.
See most of them.
Yes. And I would like to talk a little bit about fashion trends.
Fashion?
Yeah, you know what people put on their clothes.
Can I plead the fifth at this point, right?
I would just like to hear if there's any surprising fashion trends you've seen throughout the years.
Every era I was in, I think. The surprising, yeah, we had a grungy era that was very dear. Like I think of the Seattle people when I think of that grunge era, where actually the cargo pants, this kind of stuff that like I'm even wearing now, had gotten a little bit out of hand and were very colorful, to say the least. I'm not sure we could pull off that era again. It's definitely not fashion. We've had some fashion faux pas. I mean, I've had certainly a bunch of those. Though I'm sorry to say it, the Hot Shots had some fashion faux pas at one point, where it was like someone had gone into a paint factory and decided to pour it all over their outfits. So like every single color of the rainbow was literally all over their bodies. But I actually think that we are pretty good at being sharp at dressing in the Lindy community. So there's not too many of those things that go on. We just did have a phase where, you know, and it's not judgmental, where people were just full on just T-shirts and sneakers, and you know, they would bring that into performances and everything else. And somehow these days, you guys manage to do T-shirts and sneakers, but you've kind of managed to pimp it up somehow that like it actually looks cool, you know, as opposed to disrespectful. So no, I don't have a whole lot of stuff I could say in that department.
It's interesting. You've
Yeah.
seen a lot of things throughout the years.
Oh
I
yeah,
was curious.
oh yeah.
We're gonna start rounding up soon, but let's see if there's any questions that I would like to hear. Right? Yes. Okay. I would like to hear a little bit about your music preferences. So,
Oh,
who is your favorite jazz artist?
Nina Simone.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't pause. You noticed that. Nina she doesn't do jazz. She kind of is jazz. You know, her music always seems, at least for me, to feel like it's speaking to a person and who they are. And so I don't hear music. I just feel like she's like in a rhythm bass with just the universe. So Nina for sure.
Nice. And
Yeah.
favorite band?
Favorite band? Okay, that's tight. I mean, unfortunately I would go with Duke Ellington. I could say Basie. I could say Chick Webb. I could say, you know, there's several that like, you know, hitting the high notes. Chick Webb is Chick Webb. But I pick Ellington because Ellington is a storyteller. And again, he invokes an era. If you see the Cotton Club, you can almost hear his music. Like it feels like it's not just setting the tone of what people are dancing to. It lets you see the entire era. Like you feel like you can see the streets, you can feel the buildings, you can feel the people walking down the streets. And Duke Ellington's music is just lyrical in that way. And personally, I think that like he's a genius outside of even the art of jazz and playing jazz music. So Ellington is the one.
Yes, he was a true artist. Okay, last question. What song would you never say no to dancing to?
Girl from Ipanema.
Ooh. That was a surprising answer for me.
Yeah, but like, what was it, Lou Rawls? That version. Yeah, you know it. If you play the Lou Rawls one, I am running from wherever I am to find someone to dance with. If you dance with me and I'm in that tune, I'm in the zone.
All right, there's some DJs here tonight
Yeah.
taking notes.
Isn't that weird? You kind of like the expectation probably would be something else, but like I was lucky to have Lindy Hop and all these dances, but I kind of came through it through a show business kind of like life. And so maybe the extension of the energy of grandeur is always in the things that I tend to like. And like, to me, that song is a big song with great values of changes of rhythms and energy and style that like just fits my personality, you know.
Nice. Thank you very much, Ryan. Big round of applause, Ryan.